Good evening, Darwin Oracle doing a reading for one of my viewers. She asks about her ex-boyfriend and wants to know, will they ever get back together, and is there perhaps something else at play, another woman maybe? Well, let's start the reading with where the questioner is. What is her position? And up pops in her current state of mind, internal, external view on the world, the devil. The devil is a card that talks about addictions. It talks about being chained to something, even though it might not be healthy for you. I think that you probably are focusing on the relationship. It's an unhealthy infatuation. And I think that you need to move on from the idea that you and your ex are going to get back together. Whatever was happening in that relationship, it was not healthy. Whether he has got his own addictions to deal with, but I definitely feel like you are addicted to him, that he is like your drug. He is your addiction. And possibly, as I was talking about in a previous reading, your first love is always going to be a painful experience when the time comes to make a break. And quite often that break is because they've met somebody else. But let's have a look through the rest of the cards and see what is the best course of action for you. But I think this card truly represents that you do think about the ex a lot. He's in your thoughts constantly, and it's an unhealthy infatuation for you. You need to move on. The Eight of Cups is, I suppose, could be looked at as an obstacle, something that's stopping you from moving forward. And it's a picture, I suppose, of a sad man sitting on a bench, and he's given up hopes. He can't see beyond his own misfortune, and especially being a Cups card in relation to love and life. So I think the breakup has affected you greatly. You think about it a lot, and because you are thinking about it and hoping, will we get back together, it's stopping you from actually moving on from that situation. And the more you think about it, the more upsetting it's going to be for you. And I just am saying now, don't do anything silly. Don't go ringing people up or sending text messages. Don't try and chase that. If you do get back together, it will be because he wants to contact you. But I question what happened in the past, and we'll look at that card soon. But definitely this breakdown in the relationship has affected you greatly. The cups are knocked over. The emotions have been drained out. He looks exhausted, tired, sad. That's where you need to move on from that. Otherwise things in your life won't improve. So the unconscious thought, what are you thinking, and you don't know that you're thinking, as you go from your unconscious into consciousness and from your past into the future. So deep down, you know that it's time to move back, to separate yourself from the situation. The card is the Hermit card, number 9 of the Major Arcana. It's about self-reflection. It's about looking at the things that you can change in regards to how you see this relationship. Maybe you're gaining new insight into, was the relationship as fantastic as what you play out in your mind? Because you see, the Devil card really makes you think about those addictions and how wonderful and fantastic they are. And if you've had any sort of addiction, you know how difficult they can be to break. But somewhere in your subconscious now, you're thinking that yes, it is time to move on, that you do need to start focusing on other things because it's very draining for you. But I think you're already aware of that because the situation might be impacting on other parts of your life. While I was shuffling the card, a card fell out, and I always pull out and show people the card. This is the Prince of Cups. So I think, yes, when you first met, all the positive traits of this card have come out. It's now fallen out, it wants to be seen, and it's in the reverse position. So towards the end of the relationship, I feel that things were becoming difficult. He was manipulating you. Remember, the Cups characters is the charmer, the smooth talker. So you ask about if there was a woman there. Well, possibly there was someone. Whether he did anything is a different story, but he's definitely a smooth talker, and he would have been very controlling of you in those final days, because quite often people that are like that make the partners feel like they can't live without you, otherwise they're going to do something stupid, or it makes you feel guilty, and therefore when you break up you think, hang on, he must have loved me so deeply, I'm sure he's still got feelings for you. I think master manipulator, or he's manipulated the situation for you. So again, I don't want you to get back with this person if this is who is represented by the reverse Prince of Cups. I'm not saying that when he's in love, he isn't 100% in love, because these people fall in love 100%, but when they fall out, it's 100% out of love as well. But I think you know this. I think the Hermit card is asking you to come back in and look objectively at the relationship, not at these addictions and the addictive part of the relationship, but to say, is that stuff really important? Which leads to the Future card, which is the Three of Pentacles. Maybe it's saying time to start thinking about other things, time to have other positive role models come into your life and possibly move forward in life. So whether you decide to take on some sort of study, finish high school, finish college, whatever state it is for you now, it's talking about focusing on those things. A, to help you forget about the past, but also that you need to focus on your life, because in order for you to meet the perfect man, you need to be the best person that you can be. So the past is justice, and from the past into the present there's major arcana. So I'd like to know what the breakup was about. Was justice served? Did you cheat on him and he break up with you, or did he cheat on you and you broke up with him? But whatever happens, the scales of justice, although reversed, have given you the best outcome, and the best outcome is that he is your ex. So in actual fact, the law of the universe has worked in your favor. The outcomes from your past, whatever your current situation is now, is due to justice being served in the past. So if you could just write to me and let me know what that situation was, what happened to make the chain of events for him to be your ex-boyfriend, because that was the right thing to have happened. Whether you cheated on him or he cheated on you, or you outgrew each other, whatever it is, that was the right course of action for you at that point. It's difficult, I understand that, but you can't dwell on the past because it's stopping you from moving forward. But you know that now, and I think that's probably why you asked me to do a reading for you, for that confirmation. So as I was saying, looking into the future, focusing on yourself, focusing on gaining skills, focusing on finding people that are going to be positive role models and mentors in your life. So this is undertaking some sort of further study which will help set you up for the future. So the future situation, immediate future, is the Five of Swords. This really ties in with the Hermit card, and that is that you're laying down and you're starting to reassess the things in your life that were important. So while your current situation is the devil being all-powering, thinking about it all the time, with the help from the Hermit, most definitely, you're coming into a period where you're going, well, actually, it's not that important to me. Other things are. So you're starting to reassess what you want in your life. The Queen of Cups is related to the reason behind why you asked the question. Part of the question was there someone else involved? Well, I'm reluctant to say yes, but this could be, as I said, the card that relates to why you asked the question. So there is someone there. It could be his mother. It's an older person. It's not a young person. So I think if there was a part of a female to be played in the breakup of the relationship. It's an older woman, possibly a mother, an aunt, an older sister, either that or he's chasing older ladies, 30 up, 30 years and older. Someone who is like him, he's the Prince of Cups, this person is the Queen of Cups. So on an emotional level, they're definitely connected in some way. But like I said, unless he is with someone who's older than himself, it could be a mother figure who played a part in the breakup of the relationship. So your surroundings at the moment is Nine of Swords. This is a card, it's because of the Devil. Where you are at right now, you need to move away. You need to go, you know what? There's bigger and better things out there for you. Because the Nine of Swords is showing that you're still addicted. You still are having sleepless nights. You dream about this person. It's causing such anguish. And I'm actually worried because it's a card that means that you're overthinking the situation and that you might be having thoughts that are silly to do with the relationship. Don't ring, don't harass, don't text. You've got to cut that person out of your life. Don't mention the name. Don't go to places where you know he's going to be. Cut it out, because the surroundings, every time you see him, it's like a knife in the back. The Nine of Swords. Anxious, sleepless nights, the stress is too much, it's taking its toll on you. And that's probably why the card like the Hermit and the Five of Swords is so important, because you're so close to walking away from that situation, but you need to put your own arguments into play about why life is better that you move on, as opposed to hoping to get back with someone. So your hopes and fears is the Seven of Wands. It's basically, there's things that you need to sort out. Perhaps you were going out with this person for some time, and so there are things that you need to work through, and it is going to be tough, but the rewards at the end of that will pay off for you. And just get each of those challenges and just knock them on the head. It looks like this person's being attacked, but he isn't. These are just the issues that you need to deal with to move on. So if you can name to me what 3 or 4 of those issues are that you need to address to move on, I would like to hear from you on that front. And once you've written it down and you've identified it, then you can move forward. But until you do that, you're going to think it's too hard, it's too difficult. So the future outcome for you is the Princess of Pentacles. And this kind of ties into the Three of Pentacles card, that you're going to start thinking about moving on in your own life and bettering yourself, because time is very short in these younger years, and if you don't try your best to get ahead, you are going to get left behind. And I think that that maybe this person was keeping you back and not allowing you to go out and have that independence to learn, change jobs, have the opportunity to learn new skills. But you've decided that that's in fact what you want to do. So I would really recommend following a course of study, furthering your qualifications if you already have them, to put you into a position of power so that you can move forward independent of anybody else. So this is a real card about being independent and working hard to achieve new goals. Thank you so much for your reading. For your question. So if I was going to overview it, I would say that the past is in the past. Your ex is your ex. I don't feel that necessarily there was another woman there, but it could have been a mother or an auntie figure that played a role in the breakup of the relationship. Maybe they just didn't like you, or maybe they didn't like the fact that you were young lovers, or maybe he's going out with a cougar. Could be any number of those situations. But while you think about him, that addiction, it's very unhealthy, and it's causing a lot of anguish and pain and thoughts that are in no way productive. But I'm curious about the Justice card. What happened, the breakup, has occurred because justice has weighed her, put the scales out and said, this is going to happen. You couldn't have changed the breakup. So please let me know, what was the reason behind that breakup? Why did justice have to come into play and put in motion the chain of events where you've broken up? I'd be very interested to know that. Thank you very much for your question, and if you have anything else that you'd like to clarify or get me to clarify, just send me a message. Thank you, everyone. Good night.